What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you some Rising Star content today. I want to dig into the interview that and the Q&A, I guess, that Jukes, the founder and lead developer creator of Rising Star, did on the Luke Plays to Earn channel today. And if you guys don't know Luke Plays to Earn, Luke is a fantastic content creator and essentially did an interview today that I really enjoyed the format of. So make sure you go show Luke some love, and I would highly recommend going to check out the interview. It's not that long. I listened to the entire thing, actually mostly live, and was able to get some of my questions answered. Now, there were a couple of big takeaways that I wanted to share with you here, and I think it's important to make sure we go through all of them. So there's several. So all right, there's three. So the first one, and I think this will probably sound, well, let me not preface it. The first one is that there is no tokenomics model for Starbits. And Jukes was very clear about this. I appreciated his honesty in the fact that he is just trying to create a game. And so therefore the tokenomics for Starbits, and I guess Star Pro to a certain extent, it has not been thought through in the sense that, okay, you know, there's going to be some kind of inflationary countermeasures, or there's going to be burning or whatever. There is some of that. So I don't want to get away from it completely. But I think my main point is that, to quote or to paraphrase Jukes on this, is that there's no plan. There's no grand vision overall. This is something that he and his wife are just kind of creating as they go along and implementing. And, you know, their goal is to create a fun game where, again, it's a blockchain-based game, or at least it exists on a blockchain. But from a tokenomics standpoint, that part, like the economics and I guess tokenomics around the game, have not been fully thought out, or at least mapped out. Because I'm sure Juke spends a lot of time looking at it. The second thing is that there is a method of burning Starbits, and I did get that confirmed with while on the stream. And now that is through the music promoter item. So I actually watched the little tutorial here, and I'm still wrapping my head around it. But so I'll probably do a video covering that in more detail at a later time. But the thing is, you know, there is a method for burning Starbits. So the idea that Starbits would just be this runaway inflationary thing is no longer the case, or at least I'm glad that we got some confirmation on that. And so those are probably the big ones. And okay. So here's the thing. I will be honest with you that it was a little disappointing to hear that there's no like grand overall vision. There's no tokenomics model. It makes me a little nervous about where Starbits is currently and where it could potentially go if there ends up being a lot of sell pressure in the future, if we hit some kind of bear market, yada, 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 right? Though that was always my reservation from the beginning, yet I have continued to invest more and more into the game. I mean, I bought 1 million Starbits so that I would be able to do the Starbits Millionaire missions. I've been buying a lot more cards, getting fans. So I'm playing the game. But again, things like that do make me a little nervous. But I want to share kind of the silver lining, or maybe the double-edged sword with this. And I think it's important, and I want to make sure that I communicate this well and effectively to you guys, because I think it's something that is so refreshing and has me very excited to continue playing Rising Star. And that is literally the fact that there's no plan. And Jukes is not some crazy, like, trying to think about, oh, what should the, you know, he's not Yabamat, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's not Yabamat thinking about, like, what is the economy of this game going to look like? Jukes is more so like, this seems cool, like, let's do it. Let's make a cool game that has certain, like, you know, built-in currencies like Starbits and Star Pro, and just keep adding as we go along and develop this really cool title. Now, the same thing that makes me nervous is the same thing that makes me actually very bullish on this game. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because of the fact that this is almost a labor of love. I actually love the fact that Jukes was talking about how every morning he and his wife go, and I think they walk their dog, and they talk about, like, the game. Like to me, that's just such an adorable and beautiful thing, right? Like they're just trying to make a really cool game and implement something. And, it isn't in, from what Jukes was saying, they're not trying to bring on employees. They're not trying to do all these crazy things and create this massive empire built on, this blockchain gaming or blockchain based game. They're just trying to create something fun. They want it to be very music based. Obviously, Jukes is a musician as well and wants something to be related to the music industry, which appeals to my heart. So, that shouldn't go unmentioned. But in this day and age where we live with all of these different projects coming out with white paper after white paper telling you the different token models and why it's going to be successful, I got to say, it's so refreshing to have somebody who, like Jukes, who is obviously passionate about what he does, that just wants to make a cool game, that just wants to make something fun, right? Like that to me is awesome. And like there's no hard sell here. And at the end of the day, one of my favorite things about Rising Star, and I've said this before, is the fact that it is 100% free to join. So you actually have zero incentive not to. And so I don't know, to me, like I reflecting on how I was during the Q&A, as soon as he said that, I was just like, oh, this is like a weird thing. This is like a weird thing to just be very public about, that like you don't have a plan and you're not like really creating, you didn't have this grand vision and you're just kind of winging it as you go along. But as, this is the first time that I've gotten to see Jukes in more of like rather than just like through Discord or through whatever. So it was nice to actually put a face to the name and hear more and do all that. And so having him answer these questions was really nice and it was refreshing. So I want to reiterate that, yes, there are certain things that make me nervous, and I think it's important to call those things out. But at the end of the day, this is kind of being brought to you from a place of like love and passion. And I know love and passion are very hard to quantify, and love and passion might not, make your investment worthwhile in the end. So I'm very, very well aware of that, but it's refreshing for me. I'm excited about the game. I'm excited about where they potentially take it in the future. And I think I'm actually going to be covering any and all developments a little bit more closely now, mainly because I'm just interested to see what other types of things, cool things that they can bring into the game. And Juke seems to be very open and have a good relationship with the community. At the end of the day, this is still a very small game from a, total player base. And so that combined with the fact that we confirmed that Starbits are being burned. So that was a big big thing for me, which I was very happy to hear. I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So if you're playing this game, I think it's only like 30 minutes. I would definitely go recommend. Show Luke some love. Luke plays to earn, and obviously show Juke some love by checking out the interview. And I'm trying to be as honest and transparent with you guys about it. Obviously, there were some things that make me nervous, but I think my biggest takeaway really is the fact that this is coming from almost like a very pure place. So I wouldn't say like ape into all these different NFTs and Starbits and all this, but you can start playing for free and you can throw a couple bucks here and there to advance a little bit faster in the game, which is what I've done. And, I think that's a very viable strategy for people to have just kind of this idle game that, in a sense, like, for a lot of all the Splinterlands people who watch this, like, in a sense, like, this game has way more sense of progression than Splinterlands and some other games, right? Because you're clearly building up something. You have a level and XP that you earn, like, with each and every action that you take. So, there's something here. There's something here, and I want to be very clear about that. So that's all I have in this video for you today. It was mostly just a reaction and my thoughts on how that interview went. And like I said, I think everybody should be playing this. So I don't want anything that I said earlier to scare anybody away, because at the end of the day, you can start for free. And I think that despite having this grand vision and focus on tokenomics and models and economics, I think Jukes is just trying to make a really cool game. And that, at the very least, for making a free account, is worth being a part of. All right. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you all in the next one, and I will see you maybe around the game. Now that Music Promoter has some stuff here, I'll be checking that out. So keep an eye out for more Rising Star content coming soon. Take care. Have a good one.